everyone, it's good to welcome you to another episode of Crucial Conversations Strong Women series. This is a very unique episode. Please meet my guest. Wow, it's so wonderful to have you here today.
Same here.
I'm
Thank
happy.
you for having me.
It's a great pleasure having you. I've looked forward to this conversation, and I hope in the short time that we have, we can, get, something out there. I believe, and I know you always are a phenomenal woman. Of God. And gifted, in different ways. And I just feel there are a lot of things we can glean from you, and especially when it comes to the business side. So yes, being able to introduce the fact that you're a minister, you're a mom, you're a wife first. Yes, you're a mother, and then you're a dentist, or strongly you're an entrepreneur. So you're unique. So even though you're a doctor, but it's just your ability to build business and make business work I believe is a gift. Do you think it's a gift?
Yes, I think it is a gift. I think it is. I think it's sometimes I liken it to having a baby and watching a baby grow and develop. It involves that amount of time and a lot of passion and keen interest also. So yes, I think it is a gift.
It's a gift.
I think so.
So do you think it's a gift that comes naturally, or people can actually desire it and build it up and down?
I think everyone actually has the ability to. Everyone. If you just put your heart to it and you find something that you actually love enough to give attention to, I think everyone can.
So it's not about just wanting to do a business. It's about finding something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you want to nurture.
Exactly. That's the word, nurture.
Nurture.
That's the word.
Okay. So it's not about the profits. It's not about the money.
It has to
it's
be
not about
beyond.
The fame.
It has to be beyond all these things if you would stay through. Because there'll be times when the profits dips. So what keeps you? What gives you the staying power? So it has to be a call and a desire to nurture something and see it grow.
Okay. So what's your own call? And what's your own desire? What is it that makes you nurture this clinic? Is it just the clinic, the business in which you direct, you partner in? What makes you? What's the call for you?
A big part of it is wanting to employ people. That's a huge part for me. Wanting to empower people to grow, to develop in their own personal lives. Then a desire to also meet the needs of people that I see. So the desire to bridge the gap in oral health awareness, the desire to just ensure that people live happy and healthy lives, because the oral health is a core integral part of the general health also.
But a lot of people don't believe that. They're like, oral health, what's the big deal?
Until they come down with crazy toothaches and they run to us.
So that's the only thing
that's what
people...
makes a lot of Nigerians realize that, oh yes, I need to see a dentist. But beyond that, once you realize the importance and the need, you just naturally go, and then you get your whole family, you get your friends. That's what I've noticed. And once you get on the train, you don't go alone. You take everybody with you.
Okay. Yeah. So you're able to say that most of the time, for you to get clients or get patients or get customers, it's because most of them they are influenced by the fact that there's an emergency, there's a pain.
Perhaps 50%, but now there's an increased awareness in oral health. So people want to improve their smiles with braces. People want to get veneers. People want to, so it's beyond now just pain. For the average Nigerian who's just struggling to eat and get by, it is only pain that will bring them here. But when you're settled and then the basics are in place, then you can begin to think of, oh, my smile, my health, and all that.
So the core for you is wanting to employ people,
Yeah.
wanting to empower people,
Yeah.
and then wanting people to have a better
Yeah.
health life,
Yeah.
oral health, confidence in your
Yeah.
smile. I like the fact that you're the smile doctor.
Right.
You know, so how good is my smile?
Oh, really good.
But not as good as yours.
Really good.
Not as good as yours.
We'll work on it.
You work on it. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you're a very good doctor. You're taking good care of me.
Yeah.
And
So,
that's
but
why
yeah,
I was like,
irony if you say.
you know, but I think why I wanted to have this conversation with you was the first time I felt your hands. I was like, there's something about his hands. Funmi's hands are gifted. I don't know if anybody has ever told you, but the truth is, the nurse was prepping, blah blah. The truth, and then you're like, okay, do this, do this. Immediately, I could feel it, even though the hand had gloves. I was just like, there's something. So I started thinking, there's something about this hand. Is it in my head? No, it's not in my head. Okay, when the nurse's hand comes back, there's still something about the difference of. So was there? How did you get prompted to become a dentist? Is there a call? Was there a conversation? Is there? And then when it comes to the giftedness with which you do this, can you tell us what's behind?
Growing up, I grew up in a medical setting. My mom was a pharmacist. I was a very sickly child, so I saw doctors regularly, and I'd always said, "Oh, I'll be a doctor or a lawyer." And then growing up, I was a very good talking child. I was always talking, so everybody said, "No, just go into law." At the turn of GS3 going into SS1, I just decided, "Oh no, I'll do the sciences," and so it was okay. I'll be a doctor, and then up until when it was time to get into the university, I then decided, do I really want to be a doctor? And then I had a stint. My aunt was in the hospital for a long time. And then I saw the reality of practicing medicine. Because up until then, my doctors were professors. They had offices. I would sit down and drink tea and they would be consulting. And then my aunt was on the wards. And then I saw doctors working all night. I'm like, no, this is not what I want. So it's that type of sitting in the office and drinking coffee. That's what I want and all. And then I said, oh no, I think I'll go with dentistry because I'd always visited the dentist. They closed by 4. That was the catch for me. They closed by 4. And then my mom said, no, you're not serious. Go and interview dentists. And so I went around College of Medicine interviewing dentists. What is dentistry about? How do you practice it? And then I saw that the course of study was just as rigorous, even slightly more rigorous than medicine. But in the end, practicing.
But why? Sorry to cut you. So that we take it. Why dentistry? It could have been physiotherapy.
Okay.
It could have been, why? So I don't want to be a doctor and do the long hours. I don't want to go into surgery and all those, these ward rounds, scrubs, which you wear scrubs today.
Yes.
Anyway, and I think the mental part was, I think you have a very good mental capacity, a fantastic one. So I think that was why the professorship thing, and you still didn't want to be an academic.
No, I didn't.
So, and your mom is an academic, we're still going to get there. Why dentistry?
Okay, so it's very strange. In the course of all of it, I remember just being at home one day and saying, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do? And then in the course of praying, I slept off. And then I had a dream that, because obviously I was used to the environment of the College of Medicine. And in my dream, I was like a detective around the building where dentistry is. So it was like I was manning the building and going around, and everybody that needed to get information was coming to ask me for information. And so when I woke up, I was like, dentistry, okay, really, that's the truth. That's where it came from. And I was like, okay, I actually like dentists. I had a lot of friends who were dentists and they're taking care of me growing up. I was like, okay, so dentistry, that was really it.
Okay, so when you now interviewed them, what did you now learn extra?
Oh, the whole you go through 6 years, 500 level, you get into dental school. After school, if you want to do the course of residency, you do it for another 6 years. The whole, if you want to start a clinic, you do it this way. I just found out all the information that I needed.
And the more you found out, the more you liked
yeah,
it.
the more I warmed up to it.
So how were you able to explain yourself to Momsi?
I wrote a letter. She still has it. I wrote an essay about 3
What did you write
shifts,
in the essay?
everything that I found out. And I remember she sat me. That was like an interview, and she was like, "No, this is rubbish. You have to go back to meet this person to clarify this information. This is very wrong." Then I went back the next day to get the information right, and she was like, "Okay, just go ahead, do what you want to."
Okay. So is it that if she had that way, she would have wanted you to be a doctor? Or
Yes, if she had her way, but my
And
mom
then she
is
thought
not
you were
one
being
to.
lazy?
Yes, exactly. That's the truth. She thought you're just being lazy and you're scared that you won't make the cutoff for medicine. That's what she said. And but she's like, I respect your choice, and if you want to do it, good. So she won't impose her will, even though she's a very strong woman, strong-willed woman. She won't impose her will on anyone. Really.
and so that was how you
That's
settled
how,
in
yeah.
and
Yeah.
dentistry
Yeah.
and the journey so far.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take you a bit back because we
Okay.
talked about your mom.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about your mom? She's very precious to you.
Yes,
Abu.
she's as if she's very precious. It comes from within. She's very precious.
Very, very
Very
precious. So there's a unique relationship that you have, and
Yeah.
I believe who you have become today, she has inspired you a great
Oh,
deal.
absolutely, absolutely.
So can you tell us a bit about your background?
Okay. I was raised single-handedly by my mom. I lost my dad when I was 2. He was ill for a while, and he died when I was 2. And so my mom took up the reins of raising me. And she has strength of character, and I never felt a gap. Apart from the wanting to have a daddy like other kids and wanting to have a daddy take me somewhere or be with me, there was no gap. She raised me with strength, with no sense of loss. There was no sense of loss in
Really?
finances, in anything, in character. People look at me and can't believe I wasn't raised, that there was no father in my life, because they say, oh, you behave like someone who was that's what they say. And the truth is, she never even beat me all my life growing up with words and with
and she was beating you with words.
With
now.
words and a look, as you rearrange. As she has strength of character, and despite the fact that she had to raise me and she had to make a lot of sacrifice, I saw her plan such that she had bagged her master's by the time I was born, and then she had started running her PhD. But because of loss, she lost my father. Along the way, she lost her mother, her only brother. So I saw a lot of twists and turns, and then a lot of politics in the system of academics. But I remember when I was in GS3, she just decided, oh, I'm going to go back to school. And then she went to King's College London. She dropped me with a neighbor. For me, I was so proud of her. Like, my mom is going for her dreams, and she went for it. She got her PhD. Now she's a professor. She's the dean of pharmacy presently. And I just saw her.
In Unilag?
Yes, in Unilag. I just saw her going for her goals. I saw her being financially independent. I saw her investing, and she'll carry me along. Oh, I'm buying these shares. What do you think? I'm doing this. I'm buying land here, even though sometimes I don't agree with the area she's buying land. But I just saw a woman who never let bitterness get to her, because at a point in raising me, my father's family cut off. And I never saw that, oh, we are alone. I never saw it. Like, she did everything herself. People come and promise, oh, I will do this for me, and they won't come through. Nothing will change in her attitude towards them. Nothing will change. When I was getting married, my mother still went back to bring the same family that cut off. She went to bring them. She placed them in a hotel. She bought their ashwabi for them.
Wow.
Like, she just set everything up, and she's a beautiful human being. She's a very brilliant woman. She's not mushy. She won't show a lot of emotion. She's like a boss woman, but she's deep. She's kind.
You will know that she's soft,
kind. She's
soft
soft.
at the
Yes.
core.
Yes. So all of it is just a protective mechanism to prevent her from being hurt. But she's beautiful. I've seen her come home crying about students, praying and crying like, "Excuse me, auntie, why are you carrying your matter on your head like this?" She's deeply kind. She's a believer. She's not growing up. She probably spoke in tongues maybe once, but has strong faith. At the same time, every morning she's up praying in the middle of the night. Many times she prays quietly, very quietly. She's very orthodox and all, but she has strong faith, and I've seen God come through for her year after year.
So at the end of the day, that strength of character,
Mm.
that's strength, the strong personality that she is,
Mhm.
has inspired you a great deal
Oh,
to
yes,
become
it
the
has.
woman you are
Yes, it
today.
has. Yes,
So you're
it has.
grateful for your background.
Extremely
Is it not
grateful.
interesting? A background that would have said that should put you at a disadvantage
Yeah.
makes you extremely grateful. But I want to take you back a bit. Grief.
Mm.
So she having to deal with grief,
Mm.
lost your dad because they were so in love,
Yes,
from what I
they were.
learned.
They
And
were.
at 2 years, so I wonder how long they were married. So maybe barely 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, just about
You know, so very young marriage, and she must have been young, and she lost. I think she lost some her
her
mom,
her
siblings.
sister, her only brother, two of her sisters, and her only brother.
So dealing with so much grief around you, then how did you solve it?